On April 6, 2020, the most expensive app launch in history went live. It had $1.75 billion in the bank before a single customer signed up. It had two of the most respected executives in America running it. It had LeBron James, Chrissy Teigen, and Steven Spielberg making content for it. 6 months later, it was dead. This is the story of Quibi. And what makes it worth 12 minutes of your time isn't that it failed. Startups fail constantly. It's that Quibi failed with more money, more talent, and more industry power than almost any startup ever launched. Which means the thing that killed it wasn't a lack of resources. It was something money can't fix. Start with the founder, because this story doesn't happen without his reputation. Jeffrey Katzenberg ran Disney's film studio during the era that gave us The Lion King, Aladdin, and Beauty and the Beast. Then he co-founded DreamWorks. In Hollywood terms, the man was royalty. When he said short-form video was the future of premium content, people didn't laugh. They wrote checks. And what checks? Disney, NBC Universal, Sony, Warner, Viacom, Alibaba, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. $1 billion raised before launch, another $750 million on top. To run the company, Katzenberg recruited Meg Whitman, the former CEO of eBay and Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. The pitch deck practically wrote itself. Hollywood's best storyteller plus Silicon Valley's best operator. The idea was called Quick Bites. Quibi. Get it? Premium, television quality shows, chopped into episodes under 10 minutes, designed to be watched on your phone during the in-between moments of your day. The commute. The coffee line. The elevator. Every episode was shot twice, essentially, because of Quibi's signature technology, Turnstile. Rotate your phone, and the show seamlessly switched between landscape and portrait, with shots framed for each. It was legitimately clever engineering. Nobody asked for it. Here's where the burn rate gets vivid. Katzenberg promised Hollywood-grade production, and he paid Hollywood-grade prices, up to $100,000 per minute of content. Per minute. A 10-minute episode could cost $1 million for a show that played on a screen you hold in one hand. Then came the launch date. April 6, 2020. Read that date again. The entire premise of Quibi was filling the gaps in your busy day out in the world. It launched 3 weeks into a global lockdown, when nobody had a commute, a coffee line, or anywhere to be. The in-between moments Quibi was built for had ceased to exist. Launch day, about 300,000 downloads. For comparison, Disney Plus pulled 4 million on its first day, 5 months earlier. Within a week, Quibi had fallen out of the top 50 free iPhone apps. The company had projected 7 million subscribers in year one. It was tracking toward a fraction of that, and most users were on a 90-day free trial. When those trials expired, the overwhelming majority walked. The product decisions started looking stranger under pressure. At launch, you couldn't watch Quibi on a television. You couldn't take screenshots to share a funny moment, which meant Quibi shows were invisible on social media, the exact place a mobile video company needed to live. TikTok was eating the world with free short video made for nothing, while Quibi charged $5 a month for short video that cost $1 million an episode and couldn't be memed. And there was a landmine under the whole thing. A company called Eco claimed Katzenberg's team had seen its rotating video technology in private meetings, then built Turnstile. Eco sued. A hedge fund bankrolled the lawsuit. Quibi's one genuinely distinctive feature was now a legal liability. Here's the darkly funny part. The content wasn't bad. A Quibi show called #FreeRaySean won 2 Emmys. Chrissy's court was charming. The problem was never quality. The problem was that no one could name a reason Quibi needed to exist. Every show on it could have lived on Netflix or YouTube without asking you to install anything. By June, Katzenberg was blaming everything on COVID. In one interview, he said, quote, "I attribute everything that has gone wrong to coronavirus. Everything." Inside the company, that line reportedly landed badly because employees could see the retention numbers, and the retention numbers were not a pandemic problem. People who tried Quibi, free, at home, with infinite time, still didn't stay. The math became unavoidable. Money was flowing out at startup apocalypse speed, Subscribers weren't converting, and a sale process found no buyer willing to take on the content, the lawsuit, and the brand damage. On October 21st, 2020, 6.5 months after launch, Katzenberg and Whitman announced Quibi was shutting down. Katzenberg reportedly broke the news to staff, then suggested they listen to the song Get Back Up Again from the movie Trolls. That detail sounds invented. It is not. The service went dark on December 1st. Roku bought the entire content library for less than $100 million, pennies on the dollar, and around $350 million in remaining cash went back to investors as a consolation prize. So what actually killed Quibi? Not the pandemic. TikTok grew by hundreds of millions of users during the same lockdown. Not the content. Some of it won Emmys. Quibi died because it was built top-down. Two brilliant executives decided what the future of mobile video should look like, spent $1.75 billion manufacturing that future, and never checked whether anyone wanted it. TikTok asked users to make the product. Quibi asked users to be grateful for it. The most expensive lesson in streaming history fits in one sentence. You can buy talent, technology, and content, but you cannot buy a reason to exist. That has to come from the customer, and the customer never showed up. If you want more autopsies like this one, the next video covers a company that burned 25 times more money than Quibi.